This is a documentary about media literacy. We will be showing you not only the process of film, but also why it is important. In addition, we engaged students at Cedar Ridge High School to voice their opinions on controversial topics today. Here's how we did it.
Basically going to be asking students some questions, and then we're going to have one team documenting the answers of the questions. We're going to have a separate documentary team that's documenting that process, and then we have a third team that's in charge of the live stream. So we have a bunch of different components of this. Right now we're just kind of getting everything set up, explaining to the students how this is going to work, so bear with us as we try to figure stuff out.
Hi, welcome to Cedar Ridge High School. My name is Spencer of the videography program.
I'm Seth, I'm the film man.
Hey, I'm Andy, I'm this cable guy.
I'm Ira, and I'm going to be the camera woman.
We're going to be walking around school, showing you the school, and we're going to ask a couple questions to a couple people of what literacy means to them. Alright, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions about media literacy. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. On YouTube, do you care if something is true or false?
Do I care? Yes. Yeah.
And last question. Why are people always on their phones?
Maybe because there's something interesting on their phone.
Are you a feminist?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think of people these days?
What do I think of people these
How
days?
they act and how do you think the way people act before hasn't changed from for our generation?
I think that your generation specifically is going to be different from ours, and that you guys are going to be a lot more aware and focused on your world around you and how people in power affect you, and the decisions that they're making and the laws that they're passing are going to affect you, and you're going to be paying a lot more attention.
Do you think media has a big role in that?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are inundated with all kinds of information daily, and whether it's coming from Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook, if you guys even use Facebook anymore, you get a lot of information, and you have to kind of figure out like what's real, what's true, what's biased, what's not.
Okay, what should schools do to prevent school shooting?
More cameras?
Do you think bias is a problem in media?
No, not really. Yes. Because it's not good.
Do you care if something is true or false on YouTube?
Yes.
Have you or anyone else you know been discriminated against your sexual orientation or identification? In what way?
Well, being a woman and being black, it's kind of like a everyday thing, you know. So it's, just being a female in this world today is terrible.
I've known a bunch of friends because I have a bunch of friends in the homeschool community, and it's a lot more open there, but I know in some people that I'm friends with, I know they face discrimination like for being trans, and I know that it like really took a toll on them mentally.
No, never.
If you see a dog in the car with all the windows rolled up in the heat, what would you do?
Call someone or break the window and get it out.
Why has our generation's music gone downhill?
Because the music artists are lame.
Why are people always on their phones?
Because we like our phones. To look at memes.
How does stress on family members affect the happiness levels of said family?
Because, as a family, you're supposed to be like a team, and like when one team member is sad, the rest are sad usually. It's like dogs. When a dog is sad, the other dog is going to be sad.
Are you a feminist?
Yes.
Media Literacy Week, students were asked to create short videos where they interview people on the topics of issues they were passionate about. They used a documentary/interview style in order to get what their peers thought about contemporary problems and topics.
What are we talking about?
My name is Ben Jernigan, and today we're addressing the problem of drug addiction in America. My half-sister, my mom's daughter, she suffers from fentanyl, opioid, and heroin addiction.
How have you taken this situation?
It's definitely affected my family a lot, or my mom a lot more than me. I don't know, she's a mother. But yeah, she's overdosed a couple times, so we've had to deal with her being in the hospital. And yeah, it's tough sometimes, and she asks for money and stuff, and we don't really let her stay with us anymore because she's lost our trust. Sometimes it's hard not talking to your sister for months at a time and not seeing her and knowing she's alive.
What are your thoughts on corrupt police?
I think that not all cops are corrupt. Cops that are corrupt should be taken out of that position of power to be able to have the authority to tell you what to do or dictate what's going to happen to you.
The people who are corrupt are usually racist or working with gangs for their own benefit. If you are a corrupt policeman, that's just not cool.
More security, more cameras.
It's for your thing, your project that you're making. This is what you're filming for. So you need to make sure you have all the...
Everything. They better have too much than that.
I think schools can prevent school shooting if they're they don't react until after the shooting, but before, think of, for the kids who are actually doing the shooting, they're usually kids that are bullied.
How can schools prevent school shootings?
What you want to do? They will go to
School shootings.
Okay. What?
It's really cool.
How can schools prevent?
You're answering my question.
No, you're answering
today,
mine.
but it's like...
I already answered yours.
You just
do
answered
this.
mine. We're doing the second one.
And then you do
No,
this.
we're only
and
doing
you-
one.
If you put us in a group to work together, you're not working with me.
So you answer both my questions?
What's your second question? You only told me one.
The global warming one and... What can we do to... How is global warming affecting us right now? I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it.
Longer and summer's also getting longer too.
We also have more natural disasters and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's making the summers hotter and the winters colder, and also the seasons are getting longer, and it's also creating more natural disasters.
Summers are hotter and winters are colder.
There's a lot of different changes going on in the world, and a lot of them are caused by us. And I think people aren't informed enough about how their actions are impacting the earth, and people don't care about it anymore. Our generation doesn't know what's going on, and they don't care to try and make any changes to help save our planet.
It is now a Category 4 storm, although moving close to 5, the most powerful storm on record ever to hit this part of the Gulf Coast, and it is still gaining strength, bringing winds up to 150 miles an hour.
Well, by stars, I think people should stop littering. We should stop throwing trash in the oceans. We start cleaning the oceans, rivers, ponds, putting more recycling bins, and we should post. Basically just that big problem with littering. We should just work on that.
I feel like by implementing new technology, making it more accessible for people to use for everyday use, I think, for example, electric cars and solar panels to be able to power our everyday lives.
I don't think we could do that just because everybody is different and everybody reacts different to different situations, so I guess it would depend on who you are.
I think all of my news comes from social media.
If not 100% of the time, at least 99% of the time.
When I do get it from there. And probably just about every day.
How news is spread today through social media.
Nowadays is from social media, either directly or indirectly.
I personally don't use social media.
Every morning or so I just kind of browse and just see what's going on.
Most news I get are just random advertisements.
I'm gonna be honest with you, not often.
Not that much. I can tell like sometimes when stuff is like fake.
I don't really check if any of the sources are completely reliable.
I'll do some due diligence sometimes and kind of look into it. If it's like a bold claim or something like that.
You can't believe everything everybody says, especially now today because there's a lot of trolls and stuff.
I don't believe all of it because some people they like to lie and troll.
Because every article is kind of biased to some extent, so I'll just kind of look at a few different ones and kind of find out.
But usually say from some teachers or say someone who's older than me, I usually don't check to see if all the sources they are saying to me is completely reliable. If they sound educated, then I'll be like, they sound really smart, it's probably true.
Homophobia is a pandemic that has plagued humanity for thousands of years.
We were thrown out like trash. We had electric shock treatments to make us straight. We had so many horrible things happen to us. We've come a long way, but we still have a long way to go because transgender girls and boys are still being killed.
Sexuality is as much a part of me as my skin color.
Young gay person who all of a sudden realizes that she or he is gay knows that if the parents find out, they'll be tossed out of the house.
Gay rights are human rights, and human rights are gay rights once and for all.
Family means comfort. Family means help. Family means love. Family means you can be yourself. Family is there for you when no one else is. And I think family shapes you with the way you think and the way you look at the world in some ways. And I think that family shapes you by making you have a soft landing when you go home.
Family really means kind of where your heart or where your home is, or the people that you actually love. Like, you don't have to be blood related to have them as a family.
I wouldn't change anything about my family simply because of the unconditional love they give me. They support me with everything I do. They know everything about me. I tell them everything simply because I trust them.
How do doctors treat cancer, and how effective do you think it is? Doctors do radiation and chemo, but I don't know if it's effective past a certain stage.
I love
that
was a good answer.
Cancer affects people physically and mentally.
I really enjoyed this experience with Jess as my partner, and I really enjoyed being behind the camera while she was in front asking the questions.
As you can see, the camera sits on a base plate on the tripod. This allows for stability of your shot. When you start recording, use the screen to see the shot as you're filming. You can use a stick mic like she's using, or mics that you clip on. Depending on the style of your piece, decide what would be best for you. To make sure you have good sound quality, use headphones and the headphone port. If you want a background that is hard to achieve or that you want to create, it's important to use a green screen. If you do, you can insert an image into it later.
So awkward, okay. How have women's rights improved throughout history?
Well, they have allowed us to be able to vote and to be able to work and to have equal pay as men. So
that's good, okay. Providing women and girls equal opportunities to education, medical care, work, and Okay,
it was really frustrating when Jessica wasn't able to remember her voiceover. It's like, really? Is that hard?
Political. Providing women and girls equal opportunities to education, medical care, work, and representation in political and... Some of the obstacles we had were trying to get people to answer questions that they really didn't want to. We had to move around the interviewees because some people didn't want to answer questions that felt uncomfortable to them for some reason or another. Examples, Simon.
Whoa, calling him out there.
Oh gosh.
Gender discrimination means you.
Don't record yet, okay?
No, I'm just asking.
Alright.
I don't know.
Probably like, I don't know. You have like, let's see.
As a guy.
As a guy? I don't know. That's a hard question.
Like,
what did Jamari say? Oh gosh.
Jamari didn't do it.
Oh.
No, Simon! No, Simon, get your booty back over here! I can't believe he didn't want to talk. Like, I get that he was in a room full of women, but, like, still.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What is cancer?
A disease.
Okay, that was not good. Do it again.
Not good. Like different types, you know, of cancer? Like what?
Leukemia, breast cancer.
Good. Stop.
Cancer,
Okay, save it for the screen.
cancer.
Do we need to do it again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What is cancer?
Cancer is a disease like leukemia and breast cancer.
How do I turn up the volume? I don't know.
Do you know anyone who is dealing with or has dealt with cancer?
See, that's when I told him to speak more clearly, because sometimes when he's like on the microphone, I can't hear him correctly.
During this experience, I learned a lot about like the technical side of the camera work and everything.
Like I could hear him in person, but
yeah,
it's different. What have you heard about research regarding cures to cancer?
I've heard different attempts and methods that they're using, but nothing that would greatly impact.
Although cancer is a huge problem in America right now, there are efforts to minimize the number of people it does affect and inform those it does not affect. Advanced medical research is evolving constantly, and there is hope for further development of cures.
Students explore topics, as you just saw, of drug addiction and problems they create, corrupt police and their impact on our lives, the drastic impacts of global warming, as well as impacts of disasters like hurricanes and what we can do to help. In all these documentaries and interviews, students brought awareness to not only what they are interested in, but what's important to them. This just highlights the importance of media literacy and how it helps us to stay up to date and connected with the world. So no matter how small, we can bring awareness to problems or make a difference.